Good to know.
Thank you for addressing the people.
Okay, next thing on the advertisement, discussion on town manager's position. You people all look over your applications. We had, I think, 8.
Yep.
We had, everybody had a chance to look over them and.
Sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Being in the position I am, I hear a lot of things around town, wherever I go and throughout, and I had sent a memo and I received something in writing because I was uncertain what direction you people are going with this, but I think it's my job to advise you that whatever decisions you make this evening or discussions you have, that you include all the duties that you want of a town manager, and that it's a fair process, that whoever the candidate, you have many, that you've given each and every candidate a fair amount of time, and that scheduling appointments or whatever, I can do that for you to make sure that if you need to see them, I can do that. I just caution you that it's only fair that any candidate has an opportunity to address the board, because they may have concerns or issues, especially with things going on. When you've spoken to these people, have you addressed that there's litigation going on? Have you addressed that there's a recall going on? And they may want to know what direction you people, what are your goals and objectives for this town, you know? And sometimes a candidate may say, you know what, you're not for me. So I just feel, and I'm only here for a very short span of time, but in my heart of hearts, I feel you guys need to do this and do it right for the betterment of the community.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Blair, you got something?
Yeah. When it comes to employing or actually getting applications, we basically have to keep the applications on file for 2 years, and those applications or applicants are still an active applicant. Okay. So, Linda, did we get an opportunity to look at some of the existing applicants that we have on file for the past 2 years?
No, what I was asked to do was to go out and advertise and take it from there, and that's what I did, and you still received 9 candidates.
Because I had an individual approach me that says my application is still on file, I would like to add this to it, because there's information that needs to be added. And he was the one that made me aware that the applicants are actually...
Is there copies for all the gentlemen?
No, there isn't. I just received that today. And he's got a file, an application on file that was just 18 months ago, so well within the 2 years. So
He had applied before and he wasn't chosen for town manager.
Right, so his application is still on file.
They're on file, but that don't mean that you have to review the whole file. Why would you?
Should have sent a letter of interest.
You should have sent a letter of interest. Did you give it to you now?
The application is on file.
Well, we don't go back in the file and say we're gonna go back to 5 years.
Yeah, I just wanted to, before we proceed with hiring a permanent town manager, with litigation that's going on right now and potential risk to the town on that litigation, and under what his lawyer had told us in the hearing with whistleblower, I know for a fact
The
whistleblower.
lawyer said that wasn't the hearing.
Okay.
Under whistleblower, they try to get them their job back, and the courts could say that we have to give them their job back. Now, by hiring another town manager, you may be putting the town in jeopardy again for another town manager position. So I would recommend that you don't go down that road yet until litigation is done.
Well, I certainly don't expect to wait. Litigation can go on for several years. I, for one, I've looked at all the applications, and I think we follow the letter of the law. We have applied, we've advertised for the position, and personally, in most all the positions I saw, the person was either didn't have enough education, or didn't have, I see anyone that had any town manager experience. The only one I thought that could possibly fit was Gerald Blier, because he's had prior town manager experience with this town. I didn't see anybody else in those 8 applications, or whatever I received, that would even come close.
I don't have an application for him. I've not read anything about it.
No, him, I got his letter of interest.
You got it.
He did send the letter of
So
interest.
how can you make a determination that,
Well, he was town manager before.
So what?
Have we,
Yes.
have we interviewed anybody?
You were told when you were called by the town manager, if you had any questions on any applicants, to call them, talk to them, and find out.
That's
if they
not
have
an
any
interview,
interest.
Mr.
Please,
Chair.
please,
Jeez.
please, please,
Yeah.
Betty, hold up.
The
Please.
question was asked by the town manager earlier, do we act as one or as a board? And your answer was as a board.
That's exactly what we're
So
acting
if you want
on.
to function in this municipality, interview should be done as a board.
Well, didn't the town manager tell you to call the applicants that you felt as an individual? Because we're on a kind of time restraint here, because we got the border coming in, you got the new customs office coming in, you got this, and she's not gonna be here for life. You can go on in court on litigations with Randy Cannon, and there's nothing saying that Randy Cannon is, he was terminated, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, we need somebody that's a town manager that's gonna come in here and is gonna be able to do the job. And that's exactly why we filed out, we followed the point of the law to advertise, and we've got applicants, and I've got mine narrowed down to where I want. And I don't know about you two, or Don, I don't know if you got yours, but, you know, go ahead, Gary.
okay, right now we have an interim town manager,
Right.
and even for her position, you interviewed. And now you're talking about hiring a permanent town manager without interviewing. Doesn't make sense. We've always interviewed for town managers. And the way you interview is normally with the board, and you ask every applicant the same questions, so they're all playing on the same level playing field, and then you make your determination off of that. Reading these applications, I don't know Joe from Jack in these, because they're not even from this area.
Well, that's probably,
That's
you got one
exactly
from
what I'm talking about.
Texas, or 2 from Texas. one
But without
from Indiana.
interviewing, how do you know that one of them wouldn't be a perfect candidate?
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is, we can go on with this for years.
Because I looked at their experience, I read their resume.
The thing of it is I've interviewed and I've talked to the person that I thought that I wanted for town manager, and I've talked to him, and we discussed what he would take for his salary, what he would take to do the job, and in fact, I'm gonna enter this as a motion.
Before you do?
Okay?
You did that on your own, Bob?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I called him on my own, that's what the town manager told you people to do.
How can you discuss wages with anyone on your own?
No, I said I'm gonna recommend what he
Okay,
wants.
excuse me, can we
Yes.
just keep the volume down?
Oh, sure, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
He's asking what he wants. It's up to this board, if they don't want this, to turn it down. Okay, we can all vote it down, that's why we're 5 people. What he's asking for, you gotta go through this with any applicant that you've got.
Okay, that's what I did. I asked you gentlemen, so that when you were speaking, you'd have a dialogue, you could each communicate. I've talked to this one, I've spoken, I've gone through. That's all that I suggested, so that you guys are informed. So when the applicant comes for an interview, you all have had discussions amongst yourselves of who you really want for the best candidate. That's all I ask, so that the more informed you are, the better decision you'll make.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you.
So,
Well, I am ready to make a motion, and